If you want to know our power, then take a look at our building that we have built. Our building will speak of our power. These were the words of the great commander of Amir Timur, who was born in the city of Shakhrisabz in 1336. Today we are gonna talk with you about the city, about the features of the city, and of course about the local food that you should try if you are going to visit this city. Watch the video until the end, it will be interesting. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy the watching.
Good morning everybody, I am Alisher Turakulov and this is Central Asia trip with Alex. Today we are gonna explore the city Shakhrisabz, which is located 100 km far from the city Samarkand. Now I am in wonderful hotel Mevlana, thanks to the administration of this hotel. I have nice accommodation, and today my friend and my colleague Ilham, he is gonna be my guide, he is gonna be my driver. Ilham, the person who cooks the best plov in Samarkand.
Thank you.
And he learned the English language, guys, after 50 years old. And he could give me good motivation to be the guide and to be the blogger of Central Asia. The city Shakhrisabz is 100 km far from Samarkand, and so we are gonna go to the Shakhrisabz by the mountain pass. The name of the mountain pass is Takhta Karachi. Shakhrisabz belongs to the Kashkadarya region of Uzbekistan, and in summer this region is one of the hottest region of Republic Uzbekistan. That is why we started our sightseeing in the very early morning. Now time is 6 a.m. and we hope that we are gonna finish our sightseeing close to the 1 a.m. in Shakhrisabz. Then on the way back to the Samarkand, maybe if we are gonna be lucky, we will taste one of the good main course, one of the good food of Uzbekistan. We will taste the lamb, which is baked in Tandoori. In local language we call it Tandir gosht.
The road between Samarkand and Shakhrisabz takes about 2 hours. The mountain road along which we will pass can only be passed in passenger car. On the way we had several stops. The first stop was at the stone. The name of the stone was Broken Heart. The second stop was at the highest point of the mountain pass. The name is Takhta Karachi. On the way we passed the Urgut district of Samarkand region, where residents grow tobacco and sell this tobacco to the British American tobacco factory. This region of Uzbekistan supplies Uzbekistan with tobacco products.
Right now we are in the highest point of this road, which is located on the altitude of 1650 meters above the Caspian Sea. Here in this place it's possible to find dry fruits, some herbs which is grown in these mountains, and one of the things which is very famous in our country, one of the traditional foods which we eat, we call it kurt or cute. This is the dry cheese, and it's very salty.
The Shakhrisabz part of this mountain pass has a rocky appearance. On this pass you can see stones more than 4 meters high. These stones are very huge. There are a lot of cafes on this pass where you can taste tandir gosht or baked meat, but I don't advise you to do this because it's very costly. We tried tandoor gosht closer to the city of Shakhrisabz. Later we will show you the process of preparing this food. The city of Shakhrisabz is located in the south of the Republic of Uzbekistan in Kashkadarya region. The old name of the city Shakhrisabz was Kesh. In 1336, on April of 9, near the city of Shakhrisabz, a commander was born, who was very famous in the history of mankind as an iron limb. His name is Amir Timur. The attractions of the city of Shakhrisabz date back to the Timurid era, specifically the 14th and 15th century. I entered the old city through the northern gate, where you can immediately see the ruins of entrance portal of Timur's palace. The name of the palace was Aksaray, which means White Palace. Today, only the entrance portal of this palace have been preserved. The height of this portal reached more than 60 or 70 meters. This palace was built over 24 years. This palace had a large courtyard 120 or 125 meters wide and 240 or 250 meters long. Craftsmen from Central Asia and from Caucasus worked on this palace. And in the middle of this palace there was a huge reservoir. In August of 1404, the ambassador of Castilian king Ruy González de Clavijo visited the Aksaray palace. He wrote that the cities of Samarkand and Shakhrisabz have the most grandiose building that he had never seen before. In 16th century, after the collapse of Timur's empire, the Shaybanis dynasty came to the power in Central Asia. During the siege of the Shaybanis, the city seriously destroyed and was not restored. Not far from the portals, there is a statue of Amir Timur and long street that leads to the Dor-ut where the mausoleum of Timur's son, ancestor and father is located. On the way to the mausoleums, I went into the workshop where my friend and master was waiting for me. I shot this content in summer and in autumn. The workshop was closed in summer, but in autumn it was open. I have decided to take some videos about the paintings and the model of Aksaray Palace for you, which were drawn and which was made by this master.
Okay, my dear followers of my YouTube channel and Instagram page. If you have any chance to visit the city's Shakhrisabz, I highly recommend you to visit the Master Shop Art Gallery. The name of the owner is Aziz. He is my good friend. As I have been working in the sphere of Uzbekistan for a long time, he could invent the model, the entrance gates of the palace of Amir Timur, which was exist here in Shakhrisabz in the 15th century. Now I'm going to interview him.
Здравствуйте, дорогие гости. Меня зовут Азиз. Я родился в
Good
городе
morning, dear
Shakhrisabz.
guest of sunny Uzbekistan. My name is Aziz. I was born and I live in the city of Shakhrisabz. From an early age, I had a dream to recreate the model of the entrance part of the Aksaray Palace, which is located in the city of Shakhrisabz, in the homeland of Amir Timur. The height of these entrance portals reached more than 70 meters. From an early age, I went to study at an art school in Tashkent to enter Architectural Institute at the Faculty of Restoration of Architectural Monuments, and the subject of my thesis became the entrance portal of the Palace Aksaray. My latest plan was to build a model of Aksaray entrance portal. When I was in Tashkent, that is when I was a student, I had opportunity to look at the archives and get accurate data about this portal. With this data, I was able to begin construction of a model of the entrance portal of the Aksaray Palace. I started preparing for the construction of the model. For the 9 years I worked on this model. I drew drawings. I collected information about the materials of the portal and I selected different materials for this model. I tried to design every ornament on this model, and this model is completely handmade. As Ruy González de Clavijo wrote in his diary, a dynasty of craftsmen began to come to the city of Shakhrisabz and they began construction of this palace in 1318. Amir Timur paid a lot of money to the builders and masters of architecture, and Amir Timur created good living conditions for them. Therefore, in Shakhrisabz and in Samarkand, you can see the unique buildings that dates back to the 15th century. Hence the words of Amir Timur. If you want to know our power, then take a look at the building that we built. Our buildings show our power. In this gallery, you can find the pictures of Timur's palace and the city of Shakhrisabz and find the answer to all your questions about the Aksaray Palace, which will exist in the 15th century in the city of Shakhrisabz. After the gallery, I went to the ensemble Dor-ut Tilavat. Translated from Persian means place for the reading the Quran. This complex consists of small cemetery, two mausoleums, a large Friday mosque, and a small madrasa. This complex was built between 14th and 15th century by Timur and his beloved grandson Ulugh. Construction of this complex began in 14th century by the order of Amir Timur. In 3071, one of the spiritual mentors of Timur's father and Timur himself passed away. The name of this Sufi and mentor was Sayyid Shamsuddin Kulal. Shamsuddin was his name. Kulal means potter. It means he was a potter also. Shamsuddin Kulal was buried here near the Dor-ut Tilavat madrasa, which was built before the death of the Sufi. After the funeral of the Sufi Shamsuddin, this place became very frequented by local pilgrims. Later, Timur's father Amir was also buried at this place. Timur began construction of the mausoleums of Sufi and his father. Inside the second mausoleum, there are several burial places where you must take off your shoes before to entering. When you visit such place, you can hear somebody reading the Quran inside. In this case, you must wait for the pilgrimer to complete the reading of Quran. If you go into the room when somebody reading the Quran, it will be disrespectful. In the first mausoleum, there is only one grave. This is the grave of the Sufi and the spiritual mentor of the Timur's father and Timur himself, the grave of Sayyid Shamsuddin Kulal. There is a large marble stone on his grave. On the walls, you can see the inscription and architectural decorative drawings of the Islamic and Central Asian style that were restored. Shamsuddin Kulal was engaged in the spread of the correct Islam in Central Asia. The religion of Islam was not his source of income. His main source was from pottery. He was potter also. He trained several dozens of Sufis, and he was also the spiritual mentor of Timur and his father. In the territory of this complex, there is a large Friday mosque, which was built in 15th century. More precisely, in 1435 it was completed, by order of Timur's grandson Ulugh. The name of this mosque is Kokgumbaz, which means blue dome in the local language. This mosque was built by Ulugh in honor of his father Shahrukh, who was the governor of the Timur's empire after the death of Timur. After this complex, I went towards the mausoleum of Timur's sons, who passed away during the Timur's lifetime. The complex is called Dor-ut Tilavat, which means repository of power. Timur's eldest son Jahangir and his second son Umar Sheikh were buried in this complex. The name is Dor-ut Tilavat.
Two sons of Timur passed away when Timur was alive, and in order to stay close to them, in order to stay close to his father, Timur ordered to build a tomb for himself, and after his death he wanted to be buried in the city Shakhrisabz, close to the grave of his sons and father. But unfortunately, Timur passed away in the current territory of Kazakhstan in the city Atrar. And Timur was buried urgently in the territory of current Samarkand, in the mausoleum Gur Emir, but the tomb which he built for himself are still exist in this complex.
This mausoleum and this grave were built during Timur's lifetime, but Timur was buried in Samarkand. Amir Timur died in 1405 on February of 18 in the city of Atrar at the age of 69. Within 3 weeks, it was necessary to bring the body of Timur from Atrar to Samarkand. That year, winter was very snowy and severe. On the pass that leads from Samarkand to Shakhrisabz, there were a lot of snow, and the mountain pass was impassable. Timur's body started to decompose, so Timur was urgently buried in the city of Samarkand, and this grave is considered empty. On the grave, there is a huge marble stone. The weight of the stone is more than 1 ton, and on the stone there are inscriptions in Arabic. Initially, The Dor-ut Tilavat complex was built for the sons of Timur, more precisely, for the eldest son of Timur, Jahangir, who died from the illness. Later, his second son, Umar Sheikh, was killed during the battle with Kurds and was also buried in this complex. Jahangir's grave has a mausoleum, but there is no mausoleum over the grave of Umar Sheikh. This complex was honorably destroyed during the reign of the Shaybanid dynasty, which ruled in Central Asia after the collapse of Timurid's empire. In the middle of the 19th century, a mosque was built on the territory of this complex, which is considered active to these days. And also, on the territory of this complex, you can see the plane trees that were planted by Amir Timur himself in 1370. On Fridays, this mosque may be closed for the lunch for an hour for collective prayer, since on hot summer days it is very pleasant to pray and walk under the shade of these plane trees. After the filming the city of Shakhrisabz, we went to the site of the pass because it was lunchtime. We wanted to eat Tandir gosht, but cafe was closed. In November, we returned to the city of Shakhrisabz for sightseeing, and we managed to film content about this food.
When I filmed the content about Shakhrisabz this summer, unfortunately this place was closed. But today we are back to this place, and today I would like to show you one of the features of Shakhrisabz, one of the features of Kashkadarya province, one of the national foods of the Kashkadarya province, Tandir gosht. If you translate it from Uzbek language into the English language, it means the meat which is baked on tandoori. Here in Kashkadarya province, they like to eat lamb. Not so far from here, in Kashkadarya province, there is a Gisar Mountains, which is the border between Republic Tajikistan and Republic of Uzbekistan. In this Gisar Mountains, special type of sheep, ram, exists, and they inhabit in that place. And that ram and sheep can give 150 kilogram of meat, natural meat with natural fat, let's say like this. And now we are going to show you the meat which is baked on tandoori. Let's taste tandir gosht.
Every day, they bake 500 or 600 kilograms of lamb and 100 or 150 kilograms of chicken in these tandooris. In order to prepare this food, tandir gosht, they need to marinate the meat the day before, and also they need to heat the tandoori by burning the wood. For the tandoor gosht, the cook chooses the meat of the young Gisar sheep, which lives in the Gisar mountains of the Kashkadarya region. After the tandoor is ready, they hang the meat over the fire and they add the Christmas tree bush, which gives special taste for the meat. Then they cover the tandoor with a special blanket and the clay for an hour.
In this tandoori, they are baking now more than 70 kilograms of fresh lamb meat. Every day, they bake more than 500 kilograms of meat. In order to prepare this tandir gosht, or in order to bake this meat, they use the shrub of a Christmas tree, which they bring from the Kashkadarya province, which they bring from the Gisar mountains. Later, after 15 minutes, they are going to open the tandoori. They close the entrance of the tandoori with clay in order to keep the temperature inside in the same conditions. And in order to bake this tandoori, they use natural firewood.
The cooks bake the meat for an hour in the tandoori and then carefully open it and take the finished meat out of the tandoor and put it into the special basin and add additional Christmas tree bushes. In one tandoor, you can bake about 70 kilograms of meat. The cook starts the preparing of the tandoor gosht from 5 o'clock in the morning. By 6:30 a.m., the first tandoor is ready. Starting from the 7 a.m., visitors start to come. When you visit Shakhrisabz, you should definitely try to tandoor gosht, the taste of which cannot be expressed in words. You can take one portion of this meal. One portion contains about 350 grams of meat. Be sure to take green tea with this dish. You will not regret.
This local cafe is located on the way to the mountain pass, Takhta Karachi. And the next side of the road, there is the second building, second filial of the same place. You may taste this tandoor when you come from Samarkand to the Shakhrisabz, or when you go back from Shakhrisabz to the Samarkand. Staff is very kind, meat is very tasty. Have a nice meal. Bon appetit, Alex.
This was the end of my trip to the beautiful city of Shakhrisabz. If you liked it and found this video helpful when traveling to Uzbekistan, please like it and leave some comments. What you want to know about Central Asia and Uzbekistan. If you want to visit Uzbekistan and Central Asia and you are looking for the tours, then text me from Instagram, where I will be happy to answer to all of your questions. Thank you very much for your attention. Be happy.